up, and on there, everybody? Welcome back to the Minor Roots Kitchen channel. It's your boy, Chef Danny Davila, and today we're making the most amazing fried pickles and homemade buttermilk ranch. Stay tuned and roll the intro. Alright, y'all, so first things first, we gotta get our pickles in our buttermilk shiner marinade. There's only 2 parts to this marinade. So we're gonna get our hamburger dill chips or whatever kind of pickle slices you want to use. Even if you want to use spears, you want to make your own pickles, do whatever you want. You can do a whole lot of stuff with this recipe. I prefer the pickle chips. I got a nice thick one just to hold up to the fryer. You don't want like a super thin one. It's gonna get a little too crispy, you're gonna have nothing but crust. So I got our dill pickles, or dill chips. I got 2 cups of buttermilk. If you can make your own buttermilk, go ahead and do that. If not, you can buy it at the store. If you do not know how to make your own buttermilk, we'll get to that in another future episode. For right now, we got 2 cups buttermilk. It's gonna cover our pickles. And we got 1 bottle of Shiner Bock beer. Any good flavored Texas beer, local beer that you want to use is great. I wouldn't recommend too crazy of a beer like an IPA or a sour or even a Mexican beer. I recommend more of like a Texas brewery. Shiner works perfect for this. So we're gonna go ahead and soak our pickles in this. We're gonna soak them for at least a couple hours. You want that buttermilk to start kind of almost breaking down the pickle, and you want to get that Shiner flavor in there. So I would recommend leaving this for at least a couple hours, no more than 8 hours, because then it's going to start breaking down the pickle a little too much and it's going to get a little bit nasty. So I'm going to let this go for 2 hours in the fridge, and we'll get our breading ready to go. Alright, so boom, while our pickles are chilling in the fridge, getting all nice and marinated, we're going to make a super simple 2-part as well dredge for our pickles. Give it a nice crust, like a chicken fry kind of vibe. So we just got some regular brand new all-purpose flour. I'm using White Wings because shout out San Antonio, Texas. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on a half sheet tray or whatever tray plate that you prefer. We just want to have a nice coating on the bottom of the pan. We want quite a bit of room for our pickles to be able to roam around. You don't want too small of a container, because then when you go and you try and dredge your pickles, it's just going to turn into like a big mass of disgustingness. So you need a good amount of room. Now we're just going to season it up with a little bit of Slap Ya Mama Cajun seasoning. This is the Cajun seasoning that I have on hand at the moment. Whatever you prefer. You can even use lemon pepper. You can use just your own seasoning blend, some herbs and spices. Get crazy with it. But this is going to be our super simple dredge for our pickles. Alright guys, so while we wait for our pickles to marinate, we got our dredge hanging out over there. I got some oil heating up to about 350 degrees. Remember, as I always say, to not fill your oil too high because you'll risk an overflow, and it's very, very dangerous. You could start a fire, you could burn yourself severely. So make sure that it's a little bit less than halfway. Mine's about right here on the pot. Just enough room to have some frying room for our pickles, but at a safe, what do you call it, amount. So while we're waiting for all that, I'm gonna make a dipping sauce. We're gonna make just a very simple homemade buttermilk ranch dressing. It's a super simple buttermilk ranch dressing that you can use for anything: salads, chicken tenders, wings, whatever you want. So all we're gonna do is grab 2 parts buttermilk to 1 part each mayonnaise and sour cream. Make sure you're using regular mayonnaise, don't use light mayonnaise. Make sure you're using a good sour cream. So we just got 2 cups of buttermilk. That's gonna be the base for our buttermilk ranch, of course. We got 1 cup of mayonnaise. I prefer Duke's or Hellman's, but if you want to use another brand, you go ahead and do that. Get that in there. And we got 1 cup of Daisy sour cream. That's what I have on hand at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and add all this to a bowl. Now it's time to give it that ranch flavor. So I went to the store and grabbed some brand new seasonings. We go through seasonings like crazy in this house. So I got some garlic powder, some onion powder. Go ahead and just take the caps off of these things. I got some organic dill weed, just dry dill. You can use fresh dill if you have it on hand. Just use triple the amount because the dry dill is a lot stronger. And we just got some dried parsley. Same thing for the parsley. If you're gonna use fresh, use 3 times the amount because it's not as strong as the dried. So we're gonna get a teaspoon and we're gonna add a teaspoon of each of these. So we got our garlic powder, our onion powder, our dried dill, and our dried parsley. Boom. Now we're just gonna whisk this up. That's gonna be our super simple buttermilk ranch dressing. One of the best you'll ever have. Now let's go ahead and taste our ranch, check for seasoning. Feel free to add salt, pepper, anything else you like. I think this is perfect, just like this, super simple. So I'm gonna let this chill in the fridge while we wait for our oil to heat up. We're gonna dredge our pickles and meet us back here. We're gonna fry up our fried pickles. All right, welcome back, y'all. It's time to dredge some pickles. Our oil's nice and hot. We're gonna go ahead and test it with a wooden spoon. You stick the wooden spoon in, and if it sputters away from the spoon, it means it's hot enough. You can also check it with a temperature. You wanna, looking for about 350 degrees, 375 range. So we got our dredge we made earlier. We got our pickles that we had marinated. I'm just gonna drain them a bit, not too much. Throw them straight into the flour. Now remember, we talked about having plenty of room for the pickles to roam around in the flour. That way we don't have a clumpy mess. So I'm not doing a whole lot of pickles, just a small jar's worth. We're just gonna kind of toss these around. Get them nice and evenly coated, nice and dry. You don't want them too wet. They won't fry up nice, they'll get kind of soggy. Looks about right. I like to kind of toss them between my hands to get the excess flour off. You can use a sieve if you want to as well. And we're just gonna start dropping in pickles. I'm gonna do this in about 2 batches, just to not overcrowd the oil. Make sure they have plenty of room to swim around in there. And also to not overfill our oil. Remember, safety first. Now we're looking for 2 things here to make sure they're done. We want our pickles to be floating. That's one way to tell. Also, we're looking for a nice golden brown color. So they're floating right now. I want to let them go just a little bit longer to get a nice golden brown color. We'll take them out and start our second batch. Alright, also we've retrieved our pickles from the hot oil. While they're nice and hot, I want to sprinkle them with just a little bit more of that Cajun seasoning. Not too much, you don't want to make them over salty. They are pickles after all. So I got them drying over here on some paper towels. We got a little bit of our Buttermilk Ranch dressing that we made earlier. Feel free to go ahead and multiply this recipe by 2, 4, however big you want it. Just for, you know, a crowd or whatever you want to make it for. This is just literally for me and the wife. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate a few of these. Go ahead and try one fresh out of the oil, right in our Buttermilk Ranch. Just as I suspected, absolutely delicious. The brightness, the brininess of the pickles and the fattiness of the ranch was perfect together. Perfect amount of salt, that Cajun seasoning, the dill, the parsley, all comes together. Nice and crispy, nice and light, not too greasy. These are perfect. Make sure you try these at home. Make sure if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video. Comment down below what you want to see on the next episode, or just comment anything. Comment a happy face, comment eggplant emoji, comment your favorite pizza topping, comment anything. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.